Hey Gemini, welcome to Divine Duality Tarot. My name is TJ. It is April and I have a romantic reading for you. See if we can get to the bottom of what's going on in the love life during this time. Try to do is keep it pretty simple, pretty quick for you, as I know we all have stuff we got to do in the day. So I will go ahead and get started here. What I do is I lay out, I'm going to draw two that will represent you, Gemini, and then I'm going to draw another two that's going to represent your romantic interest, whoever Gemini, whoever this person may be in your life. Excuse me. And then I'm going to draw two for your point of interest, the main connection in this particular reading, the dynamic between the two, the connecting point. You know, when you got a word right there and it just isn't. You know what's going to happen is at the very end, it's going to be, oh, yeah, how's that word? Okay. Excuse me, my apologies. So Gemini, what I'm going to do is go over what the cards mean first, and then we'll put it all together, figure out what's going on. That way you have a little bit of warning, a little bit of forewarning as to what's going on with them, the situation, instead of no warning at all. Being blindsided sucks. So, this is you here. Six of Pentacles. Six of Pentacles is generosity. It's dependability in the physical world. My apologies, though. When it goes from 75 degrees to 40 degrees and then back up to 60 and then back down to, I think it was 32 today. I don't know what to do. I don't know what's going on. So now you get to sit and listen to me do that all day. So what this represents is, in the physical world, being very generous. It doesn't necessarily mean giving money to the poor, but consider that the extreme example. A lot of times when it comes to romantic readings, that generosity, at least with me, relates to being more open with either finances or just being the one to take your date out, on you. Take whoever that person is out to the movies, out to, dinner. Kind of generosity, not being quite as penny pinching, at least in that moment. This is going to get old real quick. Justice is your other representation of your energy. Justice is exactly that. It's coming to a resolution. It's things falling into place. It's bringing balance. Justice is supposed to bring balance, mutual understandings, and more so coming to an agreement that's beneficial. Justice. And then, with your partner, we have the Knight of Wands. The Knight of Wands is fast action, it's passion, it's forward momentum when it comes to passion. A lot of heat. And then you have the Page of Cups, which is flirting, which is, romance in that regard. Depending on circumstance, it can also mean a lot of fertility and the repercussions of fertility when you commit certain acts. goodness. And then this is the point of connection. This is like, you know, the unifying energy between the two of you. More or less, this is this energy, this is that part of the relationship it's relating to. The most prolific one. You have the moon. The moon is clarity in a relationship. The moon is the truth coming to light, honest conversation. And then you have the Four of Pentacles, which is stability. So Pentacles always represent the physical world. And a lot of times it relates more so to earthly possessions, such as money or, you know, your home or whatever it is that you have. Sometimes it can, depending on circumstance, also relate to something else that's very physical, which is your appearance, which is your body. Because we are flesh and blood, exist in the physical world. So anything is physical that belongs to you, Pentacles can ideally relate to. This one, though, definitely stability. I'm so sorry. What we have here is you're moving into a good place. You have a partner who is receptive, who's moving quickly. Now, sometimes people can mistake moving quickly for, you know, like, what is that word? I don't want to say rushing, you know, moving quickly, rushing, they're synonyms. Impatience. Sometimes that can come off as impatience, sometimes if somebody's rushing or overly flirty, romantic, sometimes it can make you feel kind of overwhelmed. And we've all been there when somebody's clinging to you every moment. It does happen. In this case, and sometimes people think that that's making up for something, like there's guilt. This is kind of looking more so like there's a new understanding between you and whoever this person is. And this new understanding has brought a feeling of generosity because you feel like you can open up more because you've had your justice. Whatever this was that happened that has affected you up until now, you finally got that truth. And this is the reiteration of that. The truth coming to light, it's clarity in a relationship. And then that stability on top of that really has a lot to do with the generosity. So it's kind of like things were rocky, things weren't quite making sense, and then you hit a plateau. It was crap, you were going uphill, 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 and then finally you got a moment to breathe. Some kind of burden has been relieved. A financial burden more so than anything else, because if you were strapped, then generosity wouldn't be something that would be a message here. So Gemini, this is one of those moments that this person is excited, this person is fertile, this person is ready to go. Take advantage of that, because it's not too often when those kind of situations actually culminate. Sometimes when we're burdened, we hit that plateau, everybody's now, okay, we can rest, and you know, there's, I don't want to say there's no romance, but this is that time to really put yourself out there. Take them out somewhere nice. You're on the same page. It may feel kind of weird because you've not been used to this, but we're talking really good situation here. I'm so happy to see that, Gemini. It's a lot of times it's you know, the negative aspects is what comes up. I mean, that's one of the things that, you know, people have so much in common now is like negativity. Um, you're almost trained to look for the worst in people nowadays. So if you are doubting the intentions, if you are doubting what this person means, this is sincere. This truly is. So accept it. Let it happen. Let things roll out like they are rolling out. It really looks good. So I'm going to ask one question. One question. There we go. What is something Gemini should be looking out for that could possibly be a detriment to this good situation we got? Give me a sign, and Gemini, if this is something you see start popping up, you squish it real quick. You take the fly swatter and you just nail it, get rid of it, because this is going to be that thing that just ruins the whole thing if you're not careful. And I'd rather you have some kind of warning so that things stay good, you know, as long as possible. So, first one is the Lovers, which is it's an opportunity for love. It's soulmate energy. It is the biggest one is values alignment. That is by far my most the biggest pillar you can have to the best foundation is having shared values, those underlying values, the things you believe in, the things you trust in, you know, priorities when it comes to the physical world. You know, what's more important, going on a cruise or fixing your car? If you have somebody who has the absolute different outlook on things, it can cause a lot of underlying tension. And when you don't have a sturdy foundation, all it takes is the slightest gust of wind, and this whole house, your entire relationship, is now gone. The Knight of Cups is emotion, but it is moving slowly. It's acting on feelings. It's not. It's taking your time, feeling the field, kind of what you probably have in your mind right now is, you know, not quite sure what's going on with them. You're taking your time to process, which can be good. And then you have the opposite of the Lovers, the Devil, which is an unhealthy relationship, which is like the worst thing that you can possibly have is, you know, lust, controlling, all the most negative aspects that you would see on, you know, a reality show, the people that are the most despicable in the world that we somehow gravitate to for entertainment. Cheating, with, you know, lack of passion, complacency, all that crap. The thing to look out for that can be detrimental is if you are not looking for shared values. If you're not looking for things that bind you, then things will slow down. And if things slow down, in this circumstance, it'll lead to an unhealthy relationship. I'm not necessarily saying the entire relationship's going to fall apart, but when you start filling in the cracks with crap, then nothing's ever going to get better. It's going to stay stale. It's like water and concrete. It'll eventually break it apart. So use use this time to your advantage to solidify the lovers. Use this time to understand who they are, what they want. This is a sincere time with them too, because they're opening up their passion to you. Use this time to really make some inroads into the relationship. Because if you can continue, none of us are perfect. There's always work to be done. And this is a good time to continue on that work. Start creating some more stable bonds, because right now you're in a stable spot. You have that opportunity to really lay some more foundation for a long-lasting relationship. There will always be, ups and downs in a relationship. Don't take out the wrong way. There will always be turbulence. It's going to happen. But when you have opportunities like this it's screaming at you to get those values, in check, to get that understanding of what you really both are about. You may have to compromise a little bit. They may have to compromise a little bit. Well, when you have somebody who's open, that's the time to get those compromises. When somebody's closed off, talking to them's impossible. You know how that is. When a mind's made up, what's the point even talking to them? So use this moment. Get all the energy out of the lovers that you possibly can while you can. That way you can stop this from happening. This is the absolute worst possible thing you can have. And what that's going to happen is if you take your time. If you don't jump into it, get what you want while you can, you're going to waste that opportunity. And Gemini, those are not opportunities that come by often, so take it. It's yours. All right? I never did think of that word at the beginning, so that's cool. But what else is cool is you watching the video. I really appreciate you taking the time to hear what I have to say with the messaging here. It really means a lot to me that you take time out of your day to spend listening to me talk. So with that said, Gemini, I'll see you next time.